Good afternoon, Crap to Cream. This is a follow-on episode about the brake servo that I found was bogeyed because the engine was running rough on idle. So I've now replaced the servo. So my lessons learned from this. So the original servo was had UNF nuts on the back. The new one that arrived is all metric. So they supply new nuts to hold it on to the pedal box and also to hold the master cylinder in place. So that's all sorted out. You can get all 4 nuts. The inside bolts that you have to get around the pedal box internally, you might need the anatomical attributes of a small child to get your arm and your hand into the hole to put the nuts on, but it is possible. And then you can get a spanner on the top ones. So I had to cut a spanner to suit. So there you go. So I cut my spanner to that size. Obviously I had to do 2 of them, so I had to have a 1/2 inch UNC, half inch AF to get it undone, and a 13mm to tighten it back up again. Trying to get the 1/2 inch onto the 13mm, right, was quite difficult, and it just made it too hard. So it was easy just to cut another spanner and do that. So getting the clevis pin back in is interesting. So I was able to get it back in with I don't know whether you can see in there, but I was able to get it back in with a pair of long nose pliers. I put the washer back on the inside there with a magnet, and then I use R clips in here because the split pin is just too difficult. So I'm hoping you can see inside there. I've used R clips, so you just slop the R clip in. So I've got one on the clutch, master cylinder, and now I've got one on the brake because it was just a lot easier to do that. I sucked all the brake fluid out of the master cylinder and then drained the 3 connections onto a rag to save getting brake fluid all down the inside of the wing. Yes, you do need to bleed the brakes afterwards, so that's something that I've yet to do. I just thought I'd show you a picture of where I'm up to right now. So that's it, and now I'll just take you through the stripping down of the servo in the other shed. So I'll speak to you again shortly. Okay, so this is part 2. So I've taken the servo off the car and I've now got it into the shed, and I have put a couple of nuts underneath here on the threads to protect them. I'm going to put them in the vise. Also got to take note of where this non-return valve is on there so it doesn't get stuck in the vise. So I'll put that in the vise, tighten it up. Now be aware there's a spring behind here, so when you loosen it off it could pop up with a lot of energy, right? So just need to pry it up a little bit. Gently pry it up. I'm just trying to do it as carefully as I can so I don't lose control of the spring. There you go. So there you go, jumps up like that. There's the spring. And this came out of the other side of here, so that's held into there with this clip. That came out, it was already loose. Take the rubber boot off here, pry this off here, and that, then you can take this off, take this out of here. Yeah, that's right, take that out of there. Then you take this off here like this, that's the diaphragm. And then there's a little clip in here, you might be able to see. So when you put that like that, then push that like that, that falls out of there. Then this comes out of here, and that comes new to be replaced. And that's it, I think. I think that's it. Yeah. Anyway, that's as far as I've gone, so I know the bits that are coming. I was expecting to find some sort of split in here, but I've checked it and I can't find one. So I'm not sure what's going on with that right now. It doesn't feel too bad at all, actually. It's in pretty good nick. So I'll get the non-return valve out of there next, and then when the kit arrives, the repair kit arrives, I'll then take it through the reassembly. But that's what it is in pieces, right? So that'll do as a record for me, so when I come and put it back together again, I've got a record of how it all came apart. So there you go. There's another seal in there. Anyway, that'll have to come out. Alright, so there you go. That's it. Servo stripped. Well, servo replacement servo installed, servo removed, has now been stripped, and I'll wait for the overhaul kit. And then this is the servo I will put in the other car.